How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Sox Talk on Tap, where little segment we got here on Sports Talk on Tap, where we kind of just touch on the baseball side of the sports world. We talk about basketball, football, hockey, in this segment, baseball. So, without further ado, I'm gonna kind of introduce not really a new segment, but just kind of a new topic to talk about. I know we kind of go over the Red Sox games and what's going on around the MLB games every day, but I wanted to touch on, the trade deadline as it's, approaching. We've got the All-Star break coming up next week. Home run derby's right around the corner. Jose Ramirez actually just committed yesterday to it, so there's only 2 spots left. So that should be fun to watch. But, as the All-Star break looms, that also means the trade deadline looms. And usually we see a lot of, owners, GMs getting together at the All-Star break to discuss deals because that's kind of a meeting ground, kind of like the winter meetings. But what I'm really going to be talking about today is the Red Sox and John Henry. You got to let the kids play. I know this management has been so stingy the past few years. There's been times where the team has been kind of in the wild card position, kind of floating around there, needed one more piece to get there, and the ownership and management just never gave it to them. So, back half of the year, they just kind of fall off, finished 5-6 games below 500, missed the playoffs, and everyone's, all the Red Sox fans are pissed. So, in this, I'm kind of just going to go over a few, potential trades that I could see happening with the Red Sox that really address their needs, because right now what their needs are is first and foremost pitching. Any Red Sox fan who watched the game last night against the A's, Red Sox score 12 runs and win by 3 because, Brian Bayo, I know he had 11 strikeouts, good for you, but you're giving up 9 hits, 5 earned in 5 innings to the A's. You can't be doing that, because you do that to a team against a team like Baltimore, they're not going to let you score 12 runs. And Bayo, coming into the season, was really supposed to be the Red Sox ace. He was the opening day starter, and he's struggled a lot, with control and keeping the ball down. He's thrown his changeup high. There's just a lot of things going on with him. So these are a few trades that I just kind of wanted to go over, get your guys' thoughts on, because I think these could be very realistic trades. They're not, Red Sox trade for Aaron Judge type stuff you see in MLB The Show. But the first one might be my favorite one. Nathan Eovaldi coming back to Boston. I know I've talked about it before. I've seen some similar, hypothetical trades online about this one, and I really like this one. The Rangers are a team that, as the season goes on, they're getting more and more out of that race. And I know their ownership has kind of stated they really want to just keep their pieces there and hope guys get healthy so that they can get back into the race the second half of the year. But, Houston's playing better baseball. Seattle's still number 1 in that division. That division's going to be a tough division to come back in, especially dealing with all these injuries and just guys not playing well. I know Marcus Semien made the All-Star game, but he's not playing good. He's, hitting sub 240. Corey Seager's not really having a Corey Seager-like year. So the Red Sox have plenty of prospects to deal with all over the league. Richard Fitz is one of their top pitching prospects. They just got this offseason in the Alex Verdugo trade, I believe. Nathan Hickey's I think he's their second catching prospect. He's top 15 for the Red Sox. And then, all owners love cash. So I can see this one happening. Eovaldi's on the older side, so he won't cost as much. I want to say he's like 32 or 33. He's got that playoff experience. He's pitched here in Boston. He can handle the bright lights. We traded for him back in 2018 when we went on our run, and he was an essential key piece to that team as a starter and in the playoffs as a reliever. So Nathan Eovaldi is a guy that I think everyone in Boston would love to welcome back. The second trade addresses the lineup issue because, this team is so lefty heavy. And, we kind of see the problems with that show up whenever they face a lefty. We saw it against the Yankees when Nestor Cortez pitched against us, and he had like 9 strikeouts in 6 innings. They just could not touch him. With Tristan Costas coming back, it's going to be a big addition, but he's yet again another lefty. Brent Rooker's a guy who has been putting up – he really should be an all-star if we're talking about it. He could be a guy in over Simeon. I believe he has 18 home runs. He had another good game last night against the Red Sox. He's on the older side, though. So, again, he's not going to cost as much, and it's the Athletics. So, they always deal away their good players. Blaze Jordan's a young, good hitting third baseman. He's not a guy who the Red Sox are banking on in the future. And then Luis Perales is just, all these organizations love young pitchers, and he's one of the top pitching prospects in the Red Sox farm system. So, again, another trade that I could see happening. It's probably a little less likely. The A's will probably ask a little more than this, I would say, for Brent Rooker, especially since he's been hitting seemingly better and better as the year's gone on. But we'll see. I think he's definitely a guy that will get dealt. But this all comes down to, like I said, the Red Sox management actually pulling the trigger and not being cheap and not just saying we're going to play with the guys we've got, because, that doesn't work. We always see a team make a move or two at the deadline. Like, it has to happen for you to take that next step. And then the last one, which I think is going to be probably the most unrealistic one, but if it happens, I'd love it. This would kind of be like sort of a blockbuster-ish trade. Jack Flaherty and Andrew Chafin for Yoenis Cespedes, who's one of the top prospects for the Red Sox. He's, I believe, 18 or 19 years old. He's hitting very well, and I want to say he's in high A. I can check. Yeah, he's the number 7 prospect. He's in high A. Nathan Hickey, like I mentioned before, he's their number 2 catcher, and then an MLB-ready arm, because the Tigers are sort of floating there. I don't know if Winkowski would be the guy, because it's sort of like you're really just getting a younger guy. That would be like the MLB trade-off. But the reason this isn't like a crazy, top prospect trade in my eyes would be Flaherty is a 1-year rental. He's on a 1-year contract, and Andrew Chafin is, I think, like 35, 36. He's on the older side, but he adds a very good lefty arm, because right now in the bullpen you have, I believe it's just Brennan Bernardino. There might be, I know they called up, I want to say his name's Ford. I can't remember off the top of my head. They called him up, but like, you want an established lefty arm, and Bernardino's the only guy you have right now that's, you can put it in higher leverage. Those are kind of just some of the trades I wanted to go over that I feel like could happen for the Red Sox. It's, obviously a long shot with this management, but now I'll just go over, the games real quick. Like I said, 9-12 game. It was kind of a crazy game. Red Sox scored 8 in the second inning. You think this game's over, but Brian Bayo kind of kept the A's in it. And then I think it was Zach Geloff hit a home run in the top of the 9th. Yeah, to make it a 3-run game. So people are like, uh-oh. But, took the first game. You got the win. That's, all you can be happy about. The offense played good. I think you'll get better pitching throughout the series. Bayo's always been, or not always, but throughout the year, kind of been the guy that I worry about giving up runs. And I think the surprise of the night, Jake and I talked about it yesterday as maybe being the series of the week, but the Phillies absolutely laid a whooping on the Dodgers. And this is why Jake and I had them as the number 1 World Series contender, because when this lineup is fully healthy, when they have Trey Turner, when they have, I know Bryce Harper went, 0 for 4, but when they have all these guys in the lineup, this is what they do. They have great pitching, Zach Wheeler, obviously, and then a great lineup to add to it, a great bullpen. Like, this team is probably the most well-rounded team in baseball, even with the Dodgers, having billions of dollars worth of players. So hopefully, we get a better game tonight, but who knows? The Yankees lost again yesterday. They're kind of in a downward spiral. I won't say too much on it. I believe in karma, but the Rays pick up kind of a big win for them, because they're trying to get back in the hunt. Pirates laid on the Brewers. That's a big win for the Pirates. White Sox got postponed. A few games got postponed last night, probably just due to rain. We had some storms up here in Massachusetts for a little bit. Nothing really hit the Boston area, but more so my area. So that's probably running through kind of the Central American area with this hurricane coming. So everybody stay safe with that. And then we'll just take a look at the games tonight. Red Sox A's. Nick Pavetta's on the mound, so we might see another high strikeout game. Corbin Burns. This might be, the day all the aces go. We've got Imanaga versus Burns. That could be a really fun matchup to watch. Stroman versus Eflin. Eflin's another guy who I could see getting dealt if the Rays are kind of out of it, because right now they're in fourth place in one of the tougher divisions in baseball. And then Twins White Sox got a doubleheader. So Jake, starting at 2:00, you got a lot of baseball to watch. I mean, I know players don't really like doubleheaders just because it takes a lot out of you, but as a baseball fan, I love watching them just because you get baseball all day. And then who's pitching for the Phillies? Dodgers, we got Gavin Stone, Christopher Sanchez, who's been pitching lights out. I believe he made the All-Star game. I could be wrong, but I want to say he made the All-Star game. I don't bank on that, but there's not a ton of, marquee matchups. There's actually 2 doubleheaders today, Royals, Cardinals. So these are kind of 2 big series. I know the White Sox Twins series isn't, big for the White Sox, but it's big for the Twins. If the Twins can pick up 2 games today, that's big for them, especially with the Red Sox winning last night. But, with that being said, let me know what you guys think about those hypothetical trade proposals. Are they, am I talking crazy, or am I onto something? Am I maybe, are you looking at a future GM? I don't know. I like some of the trades. I really like the Eovaldi trade because he's on the older side. Rangers are out of it. The Flaherty trade's kind of, a shot in the dark, especially, because you're not giving up a ton for a guy like Flaherty who's having a really, really good year with Detroit. But let me know what you guys think. We'll come back probably tomorrow, talk about some of these scores. Maybe we'll have Jake back on here so you can talk about the Twins doubleheader. Maybe Jose Miranda goes 10 for 10 today. Well, who knows with how he's hitting. But with that being said, make sure to, catch our previous episodes, catch our future episodes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.